Welcome to the Sports Note on YouTube for Friday, September 16th. I am your host, Jim Crinity. This week in college football is hopefully going to be not as interesting as last one was. This is supposedly going to be the week that is more resembling what last week should have been. We'd had a ton of upsets last week. This is the week where we're supposed to get not so many upsets. We're supposed to see a lot more blowouts. We've only got two top 25 matchups. We've got number 12 BYU traveling to number 25 Oregon, and then the one we're going to talk about today. We've got number 13 Miami 2-0 on the road against a reeling number 24 Texas A&M. As you guys can remember when it was discussed last week on the Wise Guy Sports Show with Mike and myself. Texas A&M lost to the Giant Killers in Appalachian State over the weekend. This game is going to be in College Station. A&M is a 6-point favorite, even though they are changing quarterbacks for the week. And Miami is also running out minus their leading wide receiver, Xavier Restrepo, who's got a foot injury, and they don't know when or if he'll be back this year. Restrepo's already got 11 catches for 172 yards and a touchdown this year. And Miami quarterback Tyler Van Dyke's thrown for 454 yards and 3 touchdowns in 2 games. Now the thing is with Miami, this is a very key game for them. If they win this game, they could end up going on a really strong run through 2022. Miami opened up against Bethune-Cookman in a 70-13 win, and then won 30-7 last week against Southern Miss. The rest of their schedule lines up really well, with the exception of November 19th, where they have to play at Clemson. Now, Clemson, the jury is still out on. There's a lot of people who think that number 5 ranking for Clemson is very deceptive. Clemson really doesn't have a schedule, that's going to challenge them all too much until later on in the year. And then the only other ranked opponent as it stands right now that Miami's going to play is going to be number 23 Pitt to close out the year, and that game's going to be in Coral Gables. But they get North Carolina at home. North Carolina's 3-0, but North Carolina's played a bunch of group of 5 or 1AA teams. They get Duke at home. They get Florida State at home. They're at Georgia Tech. They're at Va-Tech. Again, not many of those games are really going to be challenges. If Miami can win this game, they can actually start going on a little bit of a run for when a guy like Restrepo comes back, which actually would be great in the first year under head coach Mario Cristobal. Remember, Cristobal came over from Oregon after last year and got Oregon into the college football playoff a couple of times, and never had a losing season, also winning several Pac-12 championships. Is Miami going to knock Clemson off their throne in the ACC with a win like this? Let's see how things play out. There is an entirely possible scenario where Miami can come out of the ACC, get into a group of 5. Are they going to be strong enough but come down to the end to be able to get into the college football playoff? Probably not. But the thing is Miami's got 5 recruits already committed for 2023 that are scored at 85 or higher by ESPN. They've got a 5-star offensive tackle graded at a 91. They've got a quarterback who's graded at an 87. Now also Van Dyke is only a sophomore, so Miami's also got 4 other quarterbacks and 4 other pretty high. 4 total quarterbacks, 2 freshmen, and then if you add in their commit, whose name is Jaden Rashada, out of Pittsburgh High School in California, that actually would now give Miami 5 quarterbacks on their roster. A couple of those are definitely going to be redshirted. Would Rashada get redshirted? Would he actually be able to compete against Van Dyke? Let's see what the rest of the year holds. Miami's also got a running back by the name of Henry Parrish Jr., who's already carried for 217 yards and 4 touchdowns in only 37 touches through the first 2 games. Let's see what they can do against Jimbo Fisher and Texas A&M tomorrow. Miami is right now 16th in the country at 239.5 yards a game. They're averaging 50 points a game scoring, which is tied for 14th. But let's see what happens when they're actually playing a Power 5 school. Their points against is only 10 points, but let's see again what happens when you've got a very pissed off Texas A&M hosting this week, coming on again off of that monumental upset at the hands of App State. This is something where Cristobal's no stranger to losing against a ranked team, though. Let's be completely honest here. Cristobal last year went into Columbus and had Oregon beat Ohio State. Now, the final score is 35-28, but that game was not that close. Ohio State got a touchdown late, but that was a game predominantly dominated by Oregon State's defense. Oregon State led at multiple occasions, allowed Ohio State to kind of come back in, but the game was never really in doubt after about midway through the second quarter. But then the final 4 games of the season for Oregon, they got crushed by Utah. In Utah, they got crushed by Utah again in the Pac-12 title game, and then gave up over 40 points to Oklahoma in their bowl game. So it's how is Cristobal going to be able to take his alma mater, and he was born in the Miami area, was an offensive tackle on their 91 and 92 national championship teams, but how's he going to be able to have them on a primetime stage like this? Because this game is going to be on ESPN at 9 o'clock tomorrow night. It is the prime college football game of the week. Really, realistically, if you look at it, everything else should be pretty close to a blowout. Georgia plays at South Carolina. Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, Clemson all play group of 5 schools and low-end group of 5 schools. Is that Oklahoma gets to play Nebraska, who just fired Scott Frost earlier this week and are reeling. Oklahoma should win that game pretty big, even though it's on the road. And then if you round out the top 10, USC, Oklahoma State, Kentucky, and Arkansas all basically play bottom-end Power 5 schools, or again, 1AA schools. This is definitely something where unless you're a regional fan, and you know you've got to watch Ohio State lay 50 points on Toledo this week, or you're going to watch, or you're an Alabama fan and you want to watch them run up the score on Louisiana Monroe. It's definitely not a week to watch. You're going to have a lot of time on your hands for this weekend. Go watch some baseball. If you're like me, you're actually going to have. I've got Missouri playing at noon. I've got the St. Louis Cardinals playing starting at 1, and then at 2 o'clock I've got a Canadian football game to watch because I'm a fan of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So while still trying to defend their Grey Cup championship for last year, but with Oregon and BYU, that's going to be another. Well, actually, that's the 3:30 game, and that one's going to be really, really strange because usually those two teams, when they're on a national stage, it's later on in the day. So that one could actually be a little wonky because at that point, that's going to be a 12:30 start locally in Eugene. BYU's typically not used to playing that late, whereas with Miami and A&M, this 9 o'clock start is going to basically be able to put them on the national stage, front and center. Let's see how A&M rebounds. Let's see if Miami's for real, and we're going to learn a lot coming out of this week here. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment box below. Is there another game that you're looking forward to? And we have a tentative date of Saturday, October 14th for the 1-year anniversary of the Wise Guys Sports Show. We've got a lot of stuff in the pipe. We're actually going to be opening up a new channel. More than likely, that's still being worked on. We've got some overlays. We're still lining up some guests. But a lot of fun going to be had that night. Everyone is still invited to come and join us. And again, we will see you guys very, very soon. Everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy the college football and enjoy some NFL action coming back this week as well. Thank you.